All right, game has changed. Community, welcome, my friends. It is officially time to get started. Hi, Sue Miller, Tyler Shea. We've got Deborah and Andy in the house. Get inside the chat box and let us know where in the world you are tuning in from. Hello, everybody. Hello, Game Has Changed live event community. We want to first and foremost welcome you here to this extraordinary experience on behalf of Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins. My friends, the game has changed, and you are here for 3 powerful days of transforming our futures. How you feeling out there? Make some noise, get into the chat box, say I'm ready if you are feeling good. My name is Carissa Kuchis. I will be your host with you at the start of every single day, and my role is to make sure you have an extraordinary experience. So we want to thank you for believing in your future enough to say yes to this experience. And I will tell you, having seen the behind the scenes of the next 3 days, the event, what you have in store for you, you will not be let down. So over the next 3 days, you're going to be introduced to a new game plan for success in business. Okay, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, they have over 74 years of experience between the two of them. Yes, I see some of you applauding. You can give it up for their amazing careers that they've had. It's insane. And they are single-handedly leading this insane, massive shift in the way business is being done. So whether you're here, let's get a pulse check with this community. If you're just starting out in business, you just got a little idea, put yes in the chat box or make some noise. You know, maybe you're here because you have a business and you want to grow or scale it. I'll tell you this. Tony and Dean are about to literally blow your mind and heart wide open these next couple days, and it may just be the most important event you've ever attended in your life. We also have some incredible surprise speakers that you're going to be meeting across these next several days to share with you things you maybe didn't even know you needed to know. So my role here with you in the upfront is just to give you a couple housekeeping items to help you get the most out of not just this day, but the whole experience. So can I give you a couple tips? Make some noise, say yes if that's cool. Okay, awesome. Tip number 1 is dedicate the time to be here. You're already here, but showing up doesn't guarantee you get the most out of it. It's really getting the most out of it. And each day is designed to build upon itself. So if you're brand new here, 68% of you, based on our data, are brand new to Tony or Dean events. You might be thinking, I've got 3 days, I'll pop in and out, I'll taste it here and there. That is not what you want to do, because every moment builds upon the next. So you want to be here the entire day. To miss a minute is literally to miss way too much. Plus, it is not too late to clear your schedule. So if you have something that you left on there and you're like, oh, I'm just going to pop out for that phone call or that meeting, cancel it. I promise you, you do not want to miss one moment. If you're up for giving your all, every single moment of the day, put both arms up in the air, give me a big old wave and say yes. Yes. All right, perfect. Now, our second tip for you is to fully engage with the experience. Like I said, we ran some data and we found out that there are about 68% of you brand new to our world. So this might be your first experience at a totally interactive event. You can see we've got people's faces on the screen. We can see your chat box here. And you really want to get the most out of this by interacting with whoever is the speaker, especially if it's Tony, if it's Dean, and they're up here. You want to leverage the chat box to be connecting with them, asking your questions. If you're in VIP, make sure your camera is on, and please remember your camera is on, okay? And really engage and have fun with this, okay? That's how Tony and Dean are going to connect with you through your energy, whether it's on chat box or on video. Final tip for you is to bring that good energy. How many of you would agree by a show of hands that energy is a habit, okay? Focused, determined energy always across the board produces a stronger result in our lives. The science just proves it. So I want to encourage all of you to sit up in your seats with energy as if the game has totally changed and you're a completely different person. So shoulders back, put your head up, put a smile on your face, and then challenge yourself to hold this posture, this level of intensity and passion all day long. The state that your energy is in is the state that you're going to receive this information in. So if you're up to hold our energy to a high standard all 3 days, say, oh baby, yes. All right, my friends. That is it. It is time to begin this beautiful experience. And I want to start by introducing you to Dean Graziosi, the living legend. Check this out.
Today we're in the company of a phenomenal success story. Dean Graziosi is a multimillionaire.
Your ability and desire to influence so many people in such unanimously positive ways is truly inspiring.
You don't have a heart-centered reason on why the hell you want it. It's why everybody gives up on the 5-yard line.
It's entrepreneurs like Dean that are helping make the world a better place.
He is a source of just incredible information.
1 million books sold total.
Living legend.
Hundreds of millions of dollars in sales.
His takeaways have been inspiring so many people.
It's reaching millions of people
One of the
online.
biggest names in the history of this segment.
When I first met Dean, I just got to know his heart and his soul, and it's like, felt like my brother.
Impacted so many lives.
Sometimes it takes someone seeing in you what you don't even see in yourself. The man changed my life.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you so much, Dean.
I really do appreciate it.
Give it up for my partner, dear friend, Dean Graziosi, everybody. Give it up for him.
What's up? Hey, I see you, Tina. What's up, Philip, Steven? Deb, what's going on, Katrina, today? I see you there at the Lion's Den. What is going on? Denise is playing full out. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Game Has Changed event. We're so darn excited. Tony and I get the opportunity to do cool and amazing events like this, but we've never done anything like this. And first off, I want to commend you for being here. Most people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. They'd love to come to an event like this, but they chose something else. And because you're here, because you committed, because you're lighting up the chat, I see your amazing faces. I get to see so many of you. I want to let you know we're going all in. Listen, this is a shifting time in the world. Can we all agree things are crazy out there? And in times like these, I see you, David, right? In times like these, we can see what's wrong, we could see obstacles, or we could see what's right, and we could see opportunity. And I want to tell you, you are in the right place at the right time. Listen, the fact is, once in a generation, something so profound comes along that allows you to be one step ahead, to meet the world where it's going, and help you accelerate into your full potential. And I want to tell you, Tony and I are going to allow you to see that time is right now. Listen, to have the opportunity to have no glass ceiling, using your own value, not relying on others, to be more in control of your decisions, your calendar, your time. Listen, the fact is, we all know to reach our goals, we have to do the work. And sometimes we might miss the dance recital. We might miss the game or date night or some time with friends. But if that's going to be the case, then let it be for the right reason. And they're in the right vehicle and just for a season, not for your whole life. I might repeat this too many times, but the game has truly changed. And over the next few days, Tony and I and some special guests, can't wait for you to see who's here, are going to reveal the game plan to succeed in this changing world. And we're so excited to have you here. You know, right now we just passed 800,000 people registered from over 100 countries around the world. I'm going to give it up for you guys. I know some of you are up late, up early. And it's amazing that we get to see so many people. If we could see some of those, that'd be amazing. I just want to let you know how many of you I can see. Now listen, even though we come from all over the world and we come from different backgrounds, we have one thing in common. That's what makes a group like this so amazing. And I want to share first before what groups of people are here. See, some of you might be here as the investigator. You know, maybe that career is just not fulfilling. And you know you're meant for something more, right? You're exploring options. You know it's time to do your own thing. Who's here kind of investigating to see if this could be the thing? Raise your hand. Right, I get that. I see you, Daniel. I see you, Corrine. I see you, Steve Bartlett. And Steve, maybe you're a part-timer. You're part in, part out. You've been an entrepreneur, but every time you don't have the right path, maybe you switch on to something else. And then you're dabbling back and forth. You know you're meant to do your own thing. You know you're meant to be an entrepreneur or just achieve next level success, but you haven't stuck with it and you just need that plan. Who's kind of been the part-timer? Raise your hand, or the dabbler. I don't mean that disrespectfully, but dabbling a little bit, right? You can go back to the other screen if it's switching too much. You can tell we're live here, guys. Or the third group, you're a business owner. And you're looking for that competitive edge. You're looking for that unfair advantage to thrive during these troubled times. Is that true? Put your hand up, you're a business owner looking for that competitive edge. Well, here I want to tell you, all three of you, those seem different, are in the right place right now. And what do we have in common? We all know we're meant for more. I don't know what that more is for you. Maybe you're here because you want to make more impact on the world. Maybe you're here because you want more freedom. Maybe you're here because you want more choice. I got that one from Matthew McConaughey. I'm fortunate enough to do some fun things with him. And he always said, I'll work night and day because I want to be able to choose whatever it is I want to choose. Family first, all those types of things. So maybe you're here because you want more choice. You want more time. You want more income. You want more joy. Listen, if we know we're meant for more, then we got to gain new skills. Listen, I know you have dreams. I know you have goals. I know you have desires. And I want to tell you, these next 3 days, it's not overcomplicated. We want to wake that desired emotion up inside of you. We want to disturb you and get excited again, but then also show you a potential path to achieve that the way Tony and I see it. Are you guys up for that for the next couple days? About 2.5 hours a day. You all in for that? This takes a lot of work to put these events on. There's about 100 people in the other room running this for us all. But we're doing this because it's time to wake up. Listen, life's too short not to lean into who we are supposed to be, not who we're settling to be. The outside world's too crazy, changing too fast to leave it up for chance. And we got to meet the world where it's going. It's time to be one step ahead rather than 2 steps behind. And that's why we get to do these cool events. It's why Tony and I are obsessed with this. Listen, over the next 3 days, we've designed this to show you a new path to more. More capabilities, more confidence, and discover the next steps that you can use to catapult you into that next level by using the same industry Tony and I have been in for a combined 74 years. Now, in that industry, most of you know, is the knowledge industry. So whether it's time to launch your own business or gain the competitive edge to take your current business to the next level, we want you to see that your most valuable asset lives within your life experience. Listen, if you're here, you should be in the knowledge business in one way, shape, or form. That's a fact. And here's what I know. If you're new to this, you might be thinking, what the heck is the knowledge industry? And why the heck is this something I should be involved with? Patience. If you'll just be open-minded for the next couple of days, I'll see you why this, why now, why you. If you're in this industry, which is about 22% of you, this can help you scale in ways you've never imagined. Don't miss a moment. And if you're a business owner that has nothing to do with this, you're going to see why every single one of you right now in history should have an information product attached to your business for either profits or authority. And if you don't, you're already being left behind, and that's a fact. So those categories allow us to show you why this, why now, why you. Now, I want to just take 2 minutes and say, why this industry and why now? First off, it's cool. And I say that lightly because it is. It's one of the fastest growing industries in the world for a reason, because it's getting people results. People don't want to go back to college for more general knowledge. They don't want to learn on their own. They want to learn from somebody who's already done the thing that they want to do. And when I say it's cool, why do I mean that? When Tony started 40-something years ago, I started almost 30 years ago. If you sat at a table 25 years ago with a bunch of friends and said, hey, I have a coach. Everybody, what do you mean you have a coach? Are you on a soccer team? What do you mean you have a coach, right? If you said you bought a course, it would be weird. If I was in a mastermind, like, what the heck's a mastermind? Now you sit around a table with 10 people and say, I have a coach. Like, oh, me too. What's your coach on? Or if you say, I bought this course. Oh, what's the course? I want to know. I'm in a mastermind. Where's the mastermind? How do I get in? It is cool. That's why this industry is exponentially growing. And it's being fueled by regular people just like you who realize you can help people go faster. The other thing I love about the industry, it combats inflation. You know, Warren Buffett said, if you're going to start a business while inflation is high, start something that doesn't take a lot of money to get started, and definitely have something where your cost of product your cost of product isn't super expensive, because if your product is expensive and inflation goes up, it goes a little bit, your profits are gone. What I love about the knowledge industry, and again, we're going to explain this, so if it's new, please know, we're not going to leave any stone unturned. But your asset is an experience that lives in here. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to warehouse it. You don't have to put it in a showroom. You don't have to air condition it. You just got to extract it. And that's the things we're going to be sharing over the next 3 days. If you're in it, you already know we're going to sharpen that pencil. So this is a strategy to allow you to not care about inflation. In fact, it could actually fuel this industry. And like I said, it's one of the fastest growing industries in the world. It's at $1 billion a day right now, heading towards $1 trillion a year. Why? Just like we said. People don't want to go back to school. They don't want to learn through trial and error. They want to learn from somebody who's a chapter ahead. Another thing I love, and this might be too foo-foo for some of you, but this industry has changed Tony and I's lives. It allows you to have purpose, not to know where work ends and life begins, more like work-life integration, and you love both of them. It allows passion. I'm working today. I don't know if you guys know this. I get to hang out with potentially 800,000 people. I'm at work today. Thank you. This is amazing. It's a business that can allow passion and purpose and changing people's lives with no glass ceiling. Again, I'm not saying some magical money machine that gets you rich for doing nothing. If you know anything about Tony and I, that's not us. I'm talking about a real industry where you have the asset, you're just not sure how to do it in some cases. You might have a business, you don't know how to attach it, or you've been dabbling. I don't care where you are. That changes. The game has changed, and your game is about to change. This is a great business to start from anywhere, and again, with low startup cost. It's a great business to start on the side and a must add to your current business, like I said. People want specialized knowledge. And the cool part, breakthroughs in tech have made it so exponentially easier for you to get in and thrive. Now, this is a story I love sharing. It's going to be quick, because sometimes for the brand new people, thank you for filling out surveys. We had tens and tens and tens of thousands of surveys. I realized about 30% of you are new to this industry. So I want to just share one thing, because you might be thinking, is my life experience valuable? Is it worth anything? So I want to ask you a question. My pen here was a magic wand, and I said, I can do 2 magical things with this magic wand. And please light up the chat. That's how we communicate. The chat and you and me, I get to see your beautiful faces, but we chat. Your chat allows me to hear you. And if I could wave this magic wand and say, number 1, I can wave it and put $100,000 into your bank account just like that. Or I can wave this magic wand and you can go back and spend a week with your 20-year-old self. And you could share anything about business, about relationships, about life, about making money, about you leaning in who you're meant to be. What would you choose? Would you go back? Right, go back or 100 grand? I've been doing this for a long time. There's no question, go back. No question, go back, 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 right? Of course, because what would it be worth to you to say, don't take that job just because your family put you through college, or don't get in that relationship. You are way worth more than that. Think about all the things that you've learned over life that you would go back and shake your 20-year-old self and say, listen to me. Here's the thing. Your knowledge is that valuable to somebody else. You could shorten the gap for someone else, allow someone else to go faster. People are already paying for speed. That's why it's one of the fastest growing industries on the planet, because you shorten the gap from where they are to where they want to be. You just need to know how to identify what it is, how to extract it, package it, and get people to say yes, and that's what we're going to share. Now, I know, again, just speaking to the new people especially, or maybe the business owners who don't have this attached, you might be thinking, well, I'm not sure what I'd share. Would someone really pay me for it? I promise we'll crush that today. Maybe you're thinking, I tried a side hustle or business, didn't work. Well, you probably didn't have the right blueprint. And you shouldn't take all the credit for that. And if you're in business, you might think, I don't have the time. Ooh, we're going to crush that one today. We'll slay that dragon. You'll never think of that one again. Or you might be thinking, I don't have a following. No one knows my name. There's too much competition. Am I too late? Technology can be scary. I get it, but that's why we're here. Over the next couple of days, we're going to crush all of those old beliefs. and show you a new path. So a big question Tony and I get, and I think it's important, is so why are you guys so passionate about doing this? Well, there's a couple reasons. When you discover something you love, don't you like to share it with people? Who in here loves discovering a great restaurant and share it with someone you love? Raise your hand if you love a great restaurant or a great meal, right? Or if you have a great book. Did you ever read a book that just blows your hair back and you're like, wow, you got to read this book or you got to watch this movie, right? We get passionate. We get excited about things we love. True? Look at all the yeses. Exactly. Tony and I found an industry that truly saved our lives. Jim Rohn shifted Tony's life when he was 17 years old. Tony Robbins shifted my life when I was 25 years old, 26 years old. And we both became a part of this industry that allowed us to grow as humans, allowed us to impact others, allowed us to do things we never could have imagined and help people all around the world and donate and feed people around the world and all those types of things. This industry saved our lives and allowed us to live into our full potential. And now there's the access for every single one of you to follow that path. How could we not want to yell from mountaintops like, this is it, it's now, this is what you should be doing? Listen, we also know both sides. We know what it feels like. Meaning, we know what it's like to look in the mirror and think, is this all there is? Like, what if I miss it? What if I never get to be the real me? What if I don't find that thing that lights up my soul, that can give me freedom of choice? What if I never find it? I know that feeling. I will never forget that feeling. I also know the other side of getting your first sale and people saying yes and impacting lives and the growth and the contribution and loving what you do and growing. So when you know both sides, I don't want anybody to ever look in that mirror and say, we missed it. I want them to say, I'm going after it. Who's ready to get after it? Who's ready to get after it today? I don't get you to raise your hand or want you to move and the energy is here to shift you. So many of you don't realize you've been sitting in a spot just getting by, doing okay. Most all of you are doing okay. It's time for not being okay. It's time to get disturbed with inaction. So if I say, who's ready or ask in the chat, raise your hand, put it in the chat. Let's move today. Because the best thing that can happen today is that you wake something up inside of you that won't go quiet ever again. And the coolest thing is, there has been more advancement in this industry in the last 12 months than there has in the last 40 years. That's why we're so damn excited, excuse my language, to have you here today. And listen, the fact is, 27-ish years ago, I bought Tony Robbins' course. And we all have our own story. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I had a challenging childhood. I used to watch my mom work 3 jobs to make about $90 a week. We were always broke, always worried. And I just remember my youngest desire to be successful was just taking care of my mom. That's it. I wanted to retire my mom. We all need that first thing. Mine was, I didn't want my mom coming home at 10 o'clock at night after a 3rd job tired anymore. She was my muse, and I love her dearly. She just turned 80. She's still with us, so that's so amazing. But she was my first thing. And I started getting momentum in life, and I had a collision shop, and I had tow trucks, and I was working on houses. And then one day I ran across Tony Robbins in a late-night infomercial. Because the internet didn't exist back then, that's why there was infomercials. And I bought Tony Robbins stuff. I cut a check for information that I had never done before. This guy just felt like he was speaking to me. If you guys know Tony Robbins, I know some of you do, you feel like the guy's reading your journal. You know, Tina, I see you shaking your head. It's like, the guy's living in your heart, right? And 2 things happened to me when I bought Tony's course. I realized life happens for me, not to me. I could change my state. I could change my story. All the stuff a lot of you have learned. Some of you will learn soon. You got Mr. Tony Robbins coming live today. He's going to rock your world. But the second thing happened to me that I'm trying to allow you to see today. I realized I cut Tony a check. He just gave me information he learned from Jim Rohn and others, and it shifted my life. I immediately wanted to be in that industry, and I was. And since then, it was just easy. I never had a loss of, no, I just had self-doubt. My own sister said to me, hey, you're not Tony Robbins. You know, he's 6'7", you're 5'7", on a good day. People know him. Nobody knows your name. You don't have a lot of money. I remember all those doubts. Nobody's going to know who I am. I was a fast-talking guy from New York. But I knew I was meant for more. As we talked about it, more choice, more love, more desire, more impact. I knew I was meant to do something, and I was too young and dumb, and I just went for it, and thank God I did. I got to, of course, retire my parents. I've gone on to build 14 amazing companies. I became partners with Tony Robbins, do cool projects with Matthew McConaughey. I get to be the dad and the husband I want to be. I don't say this stuff to brag and like, look at me. I say it to just share what's possible. I was an inch away from being 87 years old and looking in the mirror and go, you missed it. You had something in there. You just didn't find it. So when you know both sides, so if you want to know why the heck we do this, it's for that. Neither Tony or I need to do this anymore. We want to. We're working harder than we ever have before. We were up late last night on the phone saying, we are more alive. I'm 55, he's 64. We're more alive now than ever before in our lives because we're doing something that lights us up and we want to give that to you. Does that make sense? Do you see why we're here? Do you see why we do this? Okay, now let's start getting, we're only minutes away from starting to get into some hardcore training. And I'm gonna go a little quick today. You guys okay? I'm gonna train today. Get your pens ready. Get ready to do the work. This isn't just about motivation. Today's about capabilities, discoveries, action. You ready for action, capabilities, discoveries? You ready for that? But first I wanna share 3 things that are crucially important that I wish I knew at a younger age. These are 3 elements you need for real success in your life. And I'm guessing if you've tried something in the past that didn't work, you are missing one of these 3. You guys ready for this? Number 1 is you need the right map. You need the right map. If you have your GPS and it's off a little bit, do you ever get to your destination? Right? You need the right map from somebody who's already been there, who draws it out. It can't even be an inch off. Right? So think about getting the right map. Then you need the right guide. Someone to say, hey, don't go here. No, come on, get up. Let's keep you moving forward. And number 3, you need the right tools. So I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about this day for 90 days straight. Literally 90 days straight, I've been thinking about this. The right map, the right guide, the right tools. You could pull that down. I want to tell this story. And I was trying to think, how do I really get this? How do I really get this? I thought about the gold rush of 1848. If you're here in the States, you get it. If you're not, in the 1848 to 1855 era of this country's history, they were giving away plots of land in California that had gold on it. So the East Coast people, the gold rush was, if you can get yourself to California, you can get land that could have gold on it. You could be rich and wealthy. It was the gold rush. Now, if you were in 1848 and you had a horse and a cart and you had to get across the country, would you need the right map? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. Would you need the right map? What if it was off a little bit, David, right? Or Stephen, or Gerald, or Joey, or Julie, or Jill? If it was off just a little bit, you never get there, right? So you want someone who's actually been there, who's created the map. True? Do sometimes we listen to our broke friends on how to make money, or our single friends on how to build a relationship? They're giving you the wrong map. I'm just telling you. So you need the right map for context. Number 2, you need the right guide. You need the right GPS. You need a guide to go, hey, I know we got lost here. Let's not go over there. You'll fall over a cliff. Let's not go over there. There's bears over there. Oh, the wheel fell off the cart, the wagon. I know how to fix that. And you need a guide to say, hey, get up. We're going to do this. Come on, we could do this. I'll get you started. We can make it happen. Do you understand how you need the right guide to answer those questions to keep you moving so you don't give up on you? Make sense? And if you had the right map and the right guide, let's say you had the right map and the right guide. He wasn't a drunk guy that just told you, I know how to get you to California, right? It's a guy that actually guided you all the way to California. If you got there and you got to the mine and you got right to where the gold was, and they said, hey, it's right behind that rock. Dig it out. And then they hand you a spoon. Be the wrong tool. You never get the gold. Right? You need the right pick, the shovel, whatever you need to get that gold out, right? So think about that in life. Sometimes we've had the map and the guide, but not the tools. Some of you have bought technology. You bought the tool, but you didn't know how to use it. And it was just an app on your phone that you ended up deleting. True? So I want you to remember through this whole 3 days, be on the lookout for the right map. Be on the lookout for the right guide. Be on the lookout for the right tools. Because I promise you, over the next couple days, we're going to show you a path to confidently start in this industry or accelerate what you already have. And if you're in business, we're going to show you how to add it. Now, you have our commitment. Over 100 employees, Tony and I, we spent the time, effort, and energy. It's a Herculean effort to put on an event with over 800,000 people registered, just being honest. And we love it. There's more moving parts than you can imagine. Here's what I'd say. I'm all in. Tony's all in. Our guest speakers are all in. Could you put in the chat, are you guys all in? Because we are going to go. I love it. I love it. I love it. So today specifically, and then, we're going to be together about 3 hours today in total. But today, we're going to show you how to identify what you should be offering. If you're in it, you get to polish it. And who you should be delivering it to. And we're going to do some fun stuff. We'll name it. And it's going to be fun work. You guys up for that fun work? The 2 big secrets that we're going to share today, you can bring these up. Secret number 1, how to extract what to share and who to share it with. Really, how to get what you're going to share. How do you know what you're going to teach or deliver? And then how to create your first or next product. That's a big promise. We're going to get that done, and we got to do the work. But first, let me share something. I want to go over the whiteboard. A lot of people will ask me when they first start, could you explain this industry for me? Like, give me a simplified version of this industry that I could tell my friends, tell my family. Come on, let's follow me over here. Usually the whiteboard's on that side, so if I look a little awkward over here, I'm just trying to figure this out. Let's go to this one. Okay, so this is a traditional maze. If any of you had little kids, when you go to a restaurant, this is what's on the menu and your kids are trying to find it. But just think about life, experience, the skill that you have. If you're in sales, if you've been through a situation in your life, all the things that you've gone through in life that you had to figure out. Life can sometimes be like, hey, I got this. This is easy. Look at this. Woo, woo, I got it. Wait a minute, that's a block. No, I'll go this way. Oh, that's a block. I'll go down here. Oh, I got to go back. What, in here? No, I feel stuck. I don't know if I'm going to go back. I'll go. Oh my God, I can't get out of here. Oh wait, I found it. Whew, I can breathe. I can breathe for a minute. Okay, all right, here we go. No, that's not it either. Oh, I got it. Here we go. I got it. No, it's not. And all of a sudden, we go all these paths, and finally, I think it'd be better if I go on this side. Finally, we get out, right? Finally, we find the path. But isn't that life? Raise your hand if that could be life sometimes. Navigating a divorce, navigating a new job, navigating a career, navigating a new skill. Now you see both of them. You get to see both here. It's kind of a cheat sheet. What is the self-education industry? What is the knowledge industry? This is through your own trial and error. This is trying to figure it out. What we get to do through our life experience when we pick, and that's what we're going to work on today, when we pick a category that we're going to share, something out of our life, the cool part is, we know how to give people the dots to get through. So don't go here. No, don't make it here. No, don't go up there. I've been up there. You failed. Just keep going here. We got this. Okay, we good. We just follow the dots, follow the crumbs. All we do in this industry is take our experience and shorten the learning curve for other people. We shorten the gap. And that's why when I said, hey, you being in this, if you could go back and spend some time with your 20-year-old self, I saw one person pick the $100,000 out of so many people here. Why? Because you shorten the curve. Don't go here, go there. This is how you get through the maze. Does that make sense? Listen, remember, your experience is your asset. And your knowledge is the product. And once you understand how to extract it, how to share it, how to package it, get people to say yes, you realize why this industry is on fire. Okay, so number 1, how to extract what to share. How to extract what to share. Now, I want to start with this. You can pull that down. Let's go to the whiteboard. This is me going to do the best I can on this fancy whiteboard. The part we're going to start with is where should this information come from? Again, if you're in this space, you understand it. If you're not, you're like, well, where does it come from? Right? What am I going to share? Last night, I want to tell you, I had dinner with my amazing wife, and we were talking about it. And I shared all the things I love running by her, how I was going to present and what I'm going to share. And she was so excited. And she's like, wow, even for me, my wife owns a business. She owns a hair salon that does hair extensions. She also is a mom of 2 little ones who have severe allergies, and my wife has become the allergy queen. She cooks for them, does all these amazing things. They got 8 anaphylactic allergies each, so she's become an unbelievable allergy mom, and she's passionate about gardening. Now, I'm going to go through these, and last night, I did the same thing with her last night on what she wants to do. But let's start here. Let's start with your career or business skill. I'd like you to think about and put in the chat when when you hear this or when you feel it, you have a career or a business skill that you forgot how valuable it is. How valuable would your current skills be in one area, from time management to relationships to leadership to all the things? What would you say, oh my God, skincare, graphic design, Broadway actor? Yes. If you could go back and teach this 1 or 2 skills to this younger version of yourself, what would you share? Put it in the chat, right? Put it in the chat. Because that is the learning curve that you could shorten for other people. Whether you own a restaurant, you're a real estate agent, or you're a real estate investor, and you're in sales, you're investing, finance, planner. I see a Philip, Michelle, parents going through a divorce. Susan, wildlife filmmaker. Alexis, that is cool. I want to know about that, right? Look at all the real estate, education, marketing, sales. Like, look at all the ones coming. Organization, project management. Felicia with basketball. I love it. Health and wellness. Mobile anesthesia, body care, real estate marketing. I mean, look at all the amazing things that are coming in that you've spent time on to learn. You've already been through the maze. So start thinking about that right now. Start thinking, if I was going to share a business or career skill, what would it be? So just in your head, start thinking that, write it down. Just like you're writing in here, write it down. But then some of you, let me just share, first off, if you look at somebody like Dr. Ramez, he's a physical therapist, so he does that while simultaneously he helps other physical therapists go better by courses and trainings, right? If you look at Hunter and Sarah Sheldon, they own a wedding photography business, but they added a digital product to help new people wanting to get into the wedding photography business to shorten the learning curve. So that's an extra sales item on their profit and loss statement if you own a business. Jill, she's an accountant and a bookkeeper. She just teaches entrepreneurs how to be better at accounting and bookkeeping so they really understand their numbers. It's so cool watching. And here's the thing to realize is these people didn't start going, I could sell my knowledge. This is so easy. I'm so confident. Everybody knows my name and it's easy. No, everybody starts with, what, really? Somebody pay me? And then once you understand it, you realize not only will they pay you, they'll thank you. And I think that's the greatest gift we all could have. And that's where life truly shifts. Okay, let's keep going. Number 2 is a life experience. Tony and I have been helping people in over 100 countries in over 4,000 different niches. And it's cool to watch somebody just on fire with a life experience. And when you realize that you're a chapter ahead or a book ahead, that life experience, everything changes. So think about it. We've got some people that have life after divorce. Some people in trauma recovery. Some people in weight loss. Some people finding real love. Put in the chat a life experience that you have, that you wish someone could have shortened the learning curve for. I saw somebody before say parents of people going through a divorce or a child-centered divorce, cooking, trauma, addiction, self-employment, recovery, transition to retirement, caring for adults, asthma relief, social skills. Think of all these things that have become a part of a life experience that you could shorten the learning curve for somebody else. Again, my wife, career, she does hair extensions. She's like, I'm definitely doing a course event. And remember, you could switch these up. I've done courses on real estate. I've done courses on like the things that I love, right? My wife could teach people in the career how to do hair extensions, but what I told her, her first thing should be a course and a training for moms with kids with allergies, because I watch how alone they feel and my wife has been obsessive on it. That's a life experience and she's going to impact others. And remember this in life experience, hear me on this one and put it in the chat. Sometimes your mess is actually your greatest message. My wife, it's not easy having kids where a crumb of cheese, a crumb of wheat, a crumb of an egg puts our kids in anaphylactic shock, EpiPen, emergency room, all those things. That's a mess, kinda. But we're on the other side of it. We found a process, a system. We've gone through the stress, and now we're thriving with our kids. So that mess became a message, right? Look at all these amazing things, starting over after 50, right? So incredible. So now in life experience, the third one, let's pop these people up on the screen. Beth, and these are all people I just want to share. These are all people, they wouldn't be on here if they weren't a part of our family and they weren't having success. And all incredible humans. I've yet to meet some of them, but I don't get the chance to meet most. Beth, she went through infidelity, totally crushed her. She found another way, turned her life around. Now she helps women after infidelity in their life. Jesse went through crazy anxiety. Now he helps people through anxiety. It was a life experience. Serene, I had the chance to meet Serene. She's helping women thrive through menopause naturally. Who would have ever thought? But we're connected to so many people that experience is beyond valuable. And then the last one is passion or a hobby. This could be something, and we watch so many. Put in the chat, start thinking of a passion that you would love. My wife's new passion is gardening, but it could be art, could be fly fishing, could be hiking, could be traveling, fighting, music, helping people travel, metal music, gardening, quilting, scuba diving, hiking, Crystal's dance, flower arrangements. I see a Linda, I see a Rich, I see a Victoria. Thank you. Jewelry, gems, sauce, food. Think of these passions that took you years to craft how you make sauce or how you cook or understanding old art or how to be good at soccer and gardening. Are there people right now, put it in the chat, are there people right now starting off on day one that want to be better at art, want to be better at hiking or fly fishing or traveling or gardening or shopping on a budget, public speaking? Are there people starting, yes or no? Let me see hands. I can see so many of you, right? So if that's the case, then your passion is beyond priceless. Think about somebody like Robert. Robert, he went vegan without being hungry. Now he teaches people how to go vegan if they so choose. Meditation shifted Melissa's life. It shifted so many things for her. And now she teaches other people how to meditate. It's a passion of hers. Michael likes to travel with confidence. He's killing it helping people travel better. So after all three of these, and I know you might be thinking one or the other, my wife had all three last night. We narrowed it down to a life experience for her. Here's what I'd love for you to do. Put it in the chat so everybody could see. If you would think, if right now, you could always switch it, but you got to make a decision right now or you're already in this game. Would you share, put a number 1 in the chat if it's a business skill. Put a number 2 in the chat if it's a life experience, and a number 3 if you would share a passion. Let me see, lots of 1s, 2s, 3s, they're pretty good. Look at this. You see, each of these are so powerful, and each of these can impact other people, and each of these you could fall in love with, which is so amazing. Now, again, you're going to think about this. We're making decisions here. We're doing some work right now, especially for the brand new people or the people that are in business thinking, how would I add this? This is all part of it, right? And those of you in this space, polish this time. Look at all the 3s, 2, 2, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1. It's probably usually about equal. How cool is that? But I want to take it one step further for all of you. Because once you take it a step further, your confidence goes up. And I want to share how you can take this and narrow. I hope you guys can see this. You want to narrow it down in here. What do I mean by that? If you were the wedding photographer, you could say, I'm going after photographers. No, I'm going after wedding photographers. I know this is small and sloppy, sorry. No, you're just going after wedding photographers who want to start their own business. The smaller it gets, the more your confidence goes up, and we're connected to everybody. It's still probably millions of people, right? If Cyrene, she's not going after women. She's not just going after women that are older. She's going after women that are going through menopause that want to help thrive naturally through the process. Still lots of those people, and you get to talk to them. Same about going vegan. You're not just looking for adults that want to be healthier. You're looking for adults that want a solid diet plan. You want adults that were looking for how to go vegan. It's a smaller dot. That means you get to talk to that dot. And here's the cool part. Follow me over here. The cool part about that is, I mean this about your confidence. You know, think about this. I had the opportunity to do a hot seat with Cyrene. That's how I got the chance to meet her. And in the other room, we have a mastermind room where we can fit 100 people. And if I said to Cyrene, if I said to you, whatever one you chose, think about what you chose today. If I said to Cyrene, hey, you help women thrive through menopause, great. I have 100 men and women in all ages in the other room. Do you want to go talk to them? She'd be like, no, that's weird. I don't want to talk to all men and women about menopause. That'd be weird. But I said, okay, there's 100 women in there of all ages. That's weird, of different ages. Right? If I said, okay, Cyrene, there's 100 women in the other room going through menopause and they need help. She would run in the other room because she could talk to that. Does that make sense? If you said, I teach people how to do sales better, right? If I said, hey, there's a bunch of people in there that just want to do something. There's some people in there that want to, make more money. There's some salesmen in the other room that want the competitive edge. You could run in that room and share that. See how you make sense to narrow it down? So once you choose that, you narrow it down. So let's do a little work here. I want you to do something called a solution statement. You guys ready to do a little work with me? You guys following along? Let me see you. Put your hand up if you're following along. Dr. Lisa, I see you. I see you, Krista. I see you, Maria, and Sarah, and Daniel, and Michael, Michelle, Megan, I see you. So this is a solution statement. Can you bring this up? This is something we use internally. So we were talking about, is it a career skill, a life experience, a passion, a hobby? And how do we narrow it down a little bit, make it more clear for us? So solution statement is this: I help blank with blank. As soon as you get it done, I'd love for you to put it in the chat. I help blank with blank. I help photographers with building a successful photography business. You don't have to overthink this. And please know it doesn't have to be perfect. 40% of you didn't even know this was an industry. So please know, this is just having fun together in this first day, but you're making progress. I help women 45 to 55 with thriving through menopause. I help sales professionals with selling better through kindness. Right? I help adults looking to be healthier with going vegan. I help those that want to take up fly fishing with knowing how to do it and incorporating your family. I help people with anxiety. I help entrepreneurs master their mindset. I help companies grow. I help people. It's going so fast. It's amazing. Dana and Pamela and Linda and Sasha, Leona, Amber, Christian, Amy, Elizabeth, I see y'all. I help auto detailing businesses thrive. I help people who have lost themselves with finding purpose. I help parents raise healthy adults. I hope I read that right. I hit left. It's going so quick. This is amazing. Please look at the chat you're in. Look at this. Do you understand why Tony and I love this so much? We get to help people with something we've already discovered. We just got to spend the time of putting it together, right? I help solo 55 to 65-year-age women navigate. I help women enhance their relationship, help their beauty, enhance their beauty. It's going so quick. I help women start up easily an insurance inspection business. I help business leaders gaining ability in their teams. I help people thrive in leadership. I help people breathe better. I love that one. Allison, Andy, Jennifer, I see ya. I help young entrepreneurs with sales problems become of age. I help women become as healthy as possible, especially, I lost it, wait. I help young adults with recovering. I help people with themselves. I help people with trauma, declutter their lives. I help women over 30 who have lost someone. I help people improve themselves. This is so good. This is so good. So I want you to think about this. I want you to write it down. I want you to write it down and realize that this is the start, right? We're picking an area. You might shift those areas. I just want to say nice work. Nice work. That was so much fun. All right, so if we're kind of starting to see, and again, if you're in it, you're polishing this, is This is where the knowledge will come from. It could be a career skill or a life experience or a passion, and I can narrow it down a little bit, right? If I'm good at leadership, am I good at leadership for a mid-level leader, C-suite, or people just starting, or young kids to learn leadership? The more you narrow it down, the more your confidence goes up, the more you know exactly who to go after. That's your ideal client. And we'll talk more about that over the next couple of days because they're out there waiting for you. We have a special guest coming on day 3. It's one of my favorite presenters in the whole world. Now, I'm not going to share it yet. I'm going to keep it as a guess. I'm going to keep it as a surprise, but he is unbelievable. One of the things he said is, it'll always stick with me. He said, not only does someone need your life experience, they're waiting for it, but there's people out there right now that can only hear it from you. I was like, wow, some people follow me, some follow Tony, some follow some of our other amazing speakers. Your voice, your style, who you are is exactly what somebody needs right now. That's why we get so passionate about it. Okay, number 2, the second secret for the day is how to create your first or next product. How to create your first or next product. So basically this means is let's pick your delivery system that fits you. Will you get it 100% right now? No, but I want you just to go with your gut. Make sense? Just go with your gut on this one. So what does that mean? So let's go back to the whiteboard. Oh, got to get my pen. All right, come on over. This one now, if I can make that a little bigger, is how will you share it? How will you share it? First is maybe you want to create a course. Okay, what's cool about a course is you could pre-record a course and take your time doing it. Sometimes a course is good for introverts. I could turn my phone on, get a nice little ring light, or the sunlight coming through Vivek's kitchen, right? Like you could have the sun coming in, little background. Some of our best courses were filmed in kitchens with a little ring light and a cell phone, right? But you could pre-record it and take your time doing it. You can do it once. Here's something cool about courses. You could do it once and sell it over and over again, right? I'm here with you guys today. I love it. And I have courses selling right now. I get to impact people's lives right now while I'm here with you. What I said earlier, courses are cool now. Courses are cool for the first time in history. People are like, you got a course? What'd you get? You got a course on breathing? You got a course on meditation? You got a course on selling better? You got a course on how to build monster trucks? Are you kidding me? Give me that course. It's cool. And another great thing, it's a low entry point, a low price point for people. And it's a great place for you to get started and for them to get started. And the courses that we're seeing, I mean, we can't show everybody, and I want to, like I said, we won't bring up a million different people, but it's so cool to see somebody like Mark having a course on brain health, and Jessica teaching people how to broadcast better, how to be better on video, and Chris, who I saw here earlier, is here today. He helps other professionals with acupuncture and how to take that skill to another level. So cool. They created these products, and they're out there selling. So that's number 1. You could build a course. Number 2, coaching. Let me describe a little bit why coaching might fit you. You get to go fast. You don't have to pre-record or film anything. You could start really quick once you have the framework, and we're going to be talking about that. Another great thing about coaching is you can see firsthand the one-on-one transformation you're making in people. We all love to watch people shift. We all love to watch people navigate through troubled times, especially if we could help them. So if that lights you up, then maybe coaching. Here's another one that's cool. Everyone needs and wants a coach nowadays. Seriously, the next time you're at dinner with 5 people, start bringing up a coach. People go, how do I get one? What coach do you have? Could someone coach me and do this? It is, again, you're going to hear from Mr. Tony Robbins today. He truly invented the coaching world for this industry. Before that, it was a coach for a basketball team. Tony, 45 years ago, started coaching people to their next level. And now you have the ability to do that. And the cool part about coaching, you can charge a little more than a course because it's one-on-one or even group coaching. Make sense? I love to see people like Lori. Lori helps and coaches people with public speaking. David helps people read sheet music so they can play the piano better. And Nadine does polycystic ovarian syndrome, POS. Not sure what that is, but people that know would love to be coached through an issue like that. And like I said, everybody here today, if we're bringing them up, they're making sales. And what I want to tell you before, course, coaching, we're going to talk about masterminds and groups. Someday, you'll probably do all three because they go with each other. Someone gets a course and goes, this is so good. Can they coach me? Oh my God, this coaching is so good. Can we all get together in a mastermind or a group, please? So they all go together over time, but one step at a time. The third is mastermind groups. Mastermind and groups. When we say a mastermind is the collective wisdom. It's two or more people in a room with the same outcome that makes a third mind. That's really the definition of a mastermind. What's it really mean? A group, a community, a workshop. We own Mastermind, and that's our company and we love it, but really it's a group of people. Making sense? So when I say mastermind, don't get confused. It could be, you could call it a workshop. You could call it a community. You could call it a group training, okay? But what's cool about a mastermind or a group is it's one to many, which is a multiplier. Meaning you're teaching multiple people at the same time. Coaching's great, but imagine if there's people in a room or in a Zoom room or a monthly meetup online, right? The second thing I love about a group is the collective wisdom makes it less about you and more about the group. It's everybody getting smarter. So it's not just, hey, deliver all the information to us, Alma or Lori. It's like, no, you got people also sharing in the group. Masterminds have changed my life more than any one thing on the planet. That's a fact. It's why Tony and I own that company. And people hear me on this one. And you can raise your hand if it's true. People are craving connection and community more than ever before in history. Is that true? Are we craving connection, community, aligned with the right people? Sick of all the negativity in the news, sick of the news pushing us apart and tell us we should hate each other when 90% of us think about the same things. We want to just be better humans, take care of our family, leave this world a better place. We're dying for connection and community with the right people that align with us. You have the opportunity to bring people together like never before. And the cool part about masterminds is you get to charge the most. People pay the most for that connection, that contribution. So I would love to know, as you're thinking through this, a couple more people I'd love to show. Walt helps people in a mastermind with trauma and healing. Dr. Ali does masterminds for business women, really mompreneurs. And Christina, she helps enhancing your style. And they just chose that delivery system because it aligned with them. Is that making sense, guys? You're seeing how this is really just figuring out what aligns with you and where is the best place for you to start. Not think about it, but actually start. I'd love for you to put in the chat. What are you thinking? Number one, would you do a course? Number two, would you do coaching? Number three, would you do a mastermind? Let me see in the chat. Coaching, course, coaching, mastermind. All three. Yeah, all three is the right answer eventually. But remember, Kaizen, how do you run a 1,000-mile race? One step at a time. How do you scale and make this industry real, not just dabble, as one of these elements at a time? You figure out what you're going to share. You figure out how to extract it. You get your solution statement. You start dialing it in. And then you say, I'm picking a course. Look at this. We have ones, 1, 2, 3. Coaching first, coaching, course and mastermind. Course and mastermind. Number 1, number 2. So good, so good. Keep them coming in. This just shows how we can stay engaged, how we could start picking things. Who's seeing this more clear just in the last, we've been together about 40 minutes. Who's starting to see this more clear right now? And please know, I got to share something. We're eventually, I hope every single one of you enter this business. It's big enough for all of us, heading towards $1 trillion a year. Remember, we're in the same business. So as you're learning, say, oh, I see how he's presenting it. I'm doing my absolute best to talk to those of you that are brand new, those of you that are the investigators. I want you to see this could be it. I want you to not feel left behind. I want you to see what one-step innovation, being one step ahead, looks like and go, it's my time. I'm finally doing this. But I also want to talk to you guys that have been in and out. Or you're in this industry, not at the level you want to be. I want you to hear me and go, this is the fundamental, we're getting to more that's going to blow your mind. I need to talk to you. And for those of you that are business owners, I don't want any one of you leaving here without realizing you must attach an information product to your business. It could be the most profitable thing in your entire company. So just know we're in the same business. I'm trying to talk to all three. So sometimes I'm going to ask for a little forgiveness. You might go, I'm a little beyond this. Cool, I'll catch up to you. Some of you might say, ooh, this is a little much for me. I promise I'll slow it down. But my whole goal is for every one of you to see that if you have the map from someone who's been there, if you get the right guide, if you got the right tools, and you have the right desire, please hear me on that, the right desire, anything is possible. I'll tell the story another time, but my daughter, who's going to be 18 years old, I had breakfast with her the other day, and I realized the other day when I had breakfast, she wasn't my little girl anymore. I had breakfast with a young woman. If any of you are parents and went through that phase, I left there with tears in my eyes. And I was proud of her. Does she still not make her bed some days? Yes, absolutely. I was proud of this woman she's growing into. And she said to me, God, you're around so many successful people, Dad. And she's starting to see just what I do for a living. Not like, look at her. I'm still her dad. I'm the guy that takes out the garbage and takes her to softball. You know what I mean? But she said, Dad, if there was one common thread of what people need to be successful, what do you see? I said, well, it's hard to say one, but here's what I'll say. When you have the chance to model proven practices in an industry that's thriving, then the only thing you have left is you need hunger. You got to have a desire and a purpose and a passion to get it done, and you got to keep going forward. You got to persist until you succeed. I don't want to oversimplify it, but I surely don't want to overcomplicate it. Does that make sense? To have a hunger. You guys signed up for this. I know it was free for all of you. It was free unless you took the $1 trial and you're playing with our software. But it was free. But you still had to give us your most precious thing, your time. You showed up. Sharon, I see you playing full out. Letitia, I see you, Sherry. I see you, Erica. I see you, Ivan Lopez. What's going on? I see you, Michael McCarty. Right? You're here. That takes a bit of hunger. That takes a bit of desire. And I'm going to tell you, and Tony's going to help unlock it more, do not stop. I'm just telling you, if you decide after 3 days this isn't your industry, cool. It was worth our time. Then pick something, get hungry, and don't waste time. It's going by too quick. My 18-year-old daughter was 3 years old. It seems like yesterday. It's going quick. The next 5 years is going to happen no matter what. So we might as well do something we love, something with no glass ceiling. You guys ready for what's next? Let's do this. Ready for this? Okay, so this is something that I'm so freaking stoked. These are some of the things. When we say the game has changed, this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. Because if you know what we did on the whiteboard, what you'll share, business, career, personal experience, passion or hobby. Like I picked one, you guys picked them. Number 1, 2, 3, you picked it. Then we narrow it down a little bit. Then we say, hey, I'd love to do a course. No, coaching program. No, I'm going to do an in-person workshop. We got our solution statement. The next thing that we'd start thinking about are your teaching points. If you want to write that down, your teaching points. Basically, what's the main topics you're going to share in your course or your coaching program, right? For example, if the ultimate outcome was writing a best-selling book, what are 6 things I'd want to share to get someone to their ultimate goal of a best-selling book? I might share how to lay out the chapters as one section. I might share how I write books by using voice memo and recording it and then transcribing it. I might share how I write an introduction because it helps me write the whole book when I write an introduction. I might share how to market on Amazon. I might share all the parts that I know, 6 or 7 big chunks to help someone get that ultimate goal. Does that make sense? And you can start thinking through these. All these amazing solution statements you shared, what are the things you would share to get someone to find themselves, to get through addiction, to help somebody with sales, to help somebody be in leadership? What are some of the things? And you can start writing them down right now. And I want to tell you, I love this part. And it's going to be I'm going to give you a little, it's going to be a part of your challenge, a little bit of homework tonight. I'm going to ask you to do a little bit, and we're going to ethically bribe you. I'll let you, as soon as Tony's done, I'll ethically bribe you to do your homework tonight. Nobody wants to do homework, so we can consider it a challenge. In the past, it could take weeks to dial this in, but the game has changed. So let me ask you, if you had to come up with your teaching points, how cool would it be if Tony and I could personally help you lay out your teaching points, right? Or if we could help you go deeper on each section, maybe even name the course. How cool would it be to help you craft your agenda, whether it was a workshop or topics for a coaching session or modules for a course, and not do it in months or weeks, but do it in minutes. How cool would it be if you had access to someone who could help you 24 hours a day? Well, what if I say that technology has made that available. And I want to share with you why the game has changed and why we're so damn excited to just have you here at this time in history. Right, at this phase of life where the industry's growing, where it's cool, where you can learn from us, but also you can condense time, collapse decades into days. And that's why Tony and I have obsessed and we created Gigi. So many of you have already played with Gigi. I don't know if you guys are. Raise your hand if you're playing with Gigi in our back office. She is our technology. We are calling her our Go Faster Guide. And this is really just, I love Gigi. Me too. It's unbelievable. Who would have thought that technology would exist where literally Gigi thinks like Tony and I? We loaded in decades of experience for her to think like we do, to compound what you know, to get you off the blank page, 24 hours a day, no breaks, all these amazing things we are so excited for. In fact, I'd love to show you what's possible. I'm going to show you a quick little video here of someone on our team, a couple minutes long. You got to see this, because a year ago this didn't exist. For where we are right now in history. And I'm not saying take away excuses. We want to take away the friction. We want to take away the sticking points and give you the path to get there quicker. This is really cool. In fact, let's just take 2 minutes and play that video.
Hey everyone, Allie here from the Mastermind team, and I wanted to show you what a powerful tool Gigi is to help you in getting off the blank page and in generating new ideas. For this example, she's going to be helping me in creating my teaching points and in naming my product. So let's go ahead and select this option from our menu here. And you can see right away she's followed up with us. She's asked, can you help me in finishing this sentence? I help blank with blank, and then she's given us a really great example. This is what makes Gigi so special, is that she knows the right questions to ask you. So you don't need to have all the right questions, you just simply need to get started. Plus, she's been trained by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, who together combined have something like 74 years of experience in this industry. So you can trust that these questions are going to guide you to the best response possible. So I'll go ahead here and paste my solution statement. Let's say my solution statement is that I help busy professionals with incorporating quick and effective workouts into their daily routine. I'll go ahead and submit that. And she's followed up. She says, this is going to be an amazing product, but do you want to create a course, a coaching program, a mastermind group, or a workshop? So let's say that I wanted to create a coaching program. And let's see, this is the fun part right here, because now she's creating 6 different teaching points for us, as well as different discussion points to help us in keeping the topic going. Then she's also given us some different name options for our coaching program. So let's take a look as we read through some of these teaching points together. First, she recommends the foundation of quick workouts, followed by designing effective workouts, time management strategies, nutrition and recovery, tracking progress and staying motivated, and work-life balance and well-being. In teaching point 6, she recommends that we discuss balancing work, fitness, personal life, stress management techniques, and incorporating mindfulness and relaxation practices. And she even gave me some names for my coaching program. Now, what I love about this is you can always go deeper with Gigi. Tell her what you love or what you don't like. Share some of your ideas. Go back and forth, have a conversation with her until you tailor the results to something you absolutely love. Let's say that I change my mind, for example, and I no longer want to create a coaching program, but instead I want to create a mastermind event. I've added into the chat. Can you help me format this into a 2-day in-person mastermind event? I'll go ahead and press submit. And again, in seconds, she's laying out day 1 and day 2, each of the segments. She's even scheduled in morning breaks, lunch breaks, Q&A, and networking, all the way through to different activities and what we could discuss during the event. This is such a time saver. Really, I could go on and on showing you the different options that we have here. But really, I want to say this has been so fun with you all. Thanks for having me, and you're doing amazing.
Is that incredible? Give it up for Allie. Thank you. So here's the cool part. What excites us the most about this is what's possible. Those things used to take us months. And this isn't about AI or somebody doing it for you. This is a technology that thinks like Tony and I, just to get you off the blank page. You know, if this was a baseball game, to get you to third base, get you 3/4 of the way there. And we just wanted to show you what's possible. You absolutely, and it'll be a part of your homework challenge tonight, you could do this on a piece of paper. What are the 6 things we'd like to teach? We just wanted to show you how time can collapse. And so many of you are already playing with Gigi, and I just want you to write this down. down. If you want to play with Gigi tonight when you do your homework, you could go to mmtestdrive.com. mmtestdrive.com if you want to write that down. And it's just $1. You can have a whole 30 days to play with it and have fun. No obligation. Tony and I just wanted to give you to see what's out there. Technology's not scary once you understand it. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't bury your head in the sand and think it's going away. It's not. We can use this for a force of good. We can use this to bring value to the world, to shift other people and go faster so you can live into your full potential. Isn't it cool to see what's in? Put in the chat if this is just freaking amazing to be alive right now. We can look at the obstacles and we can look at opportunity. And this is opportunity. It's so amazing and it's so much fun. You're going to have a blast. And it's pretty freaky because it's like talking to us. Okay, next, listen, Tony's going to be here in just a minute. And I'm so excited. I will sit right here with you. I'll be taking notes like crazy. This guy lights you up like no other person on the planet. But before we bring Tony out, I had the chance to meet Terry. And she was such a great story. And just a transformation that just filled my heart. And she's got one of those smiles. You know when you meet somebody and they just got a smile that's addicting? We want to take 10 minutes or so, and I'd like you to meet Terry here in a minute. She used to be an assistant principal, and now is the founder of 2 successful companies. Terry teaches her passion, how to invest in the stock market, but that's not what she was doing as an assistant principal. It became a passion. She's now served over 35,000 students. She's changed so many lives. But before all that, our team put a little 90-second reel together, and then let's bring out Terry. Play this quick video.
I actually was in education and ministry for about 10 years. My last job was assistant principal of an elementary school. I remember one day in particular, I was driving up to school and my phone just started buzzing like crazy. It was all of my friends saying that one of my other friends had passed away. And I remember driving up to the school, it was early in the morning, and I'm sitting here thinking like, what's going on? Like, why does it keep buzzing? Y'all, I gotta focus and get into this school building. But then at the very same time, I was going into the building and I was like, I can't tell them because the last time that I tried to ask for a day off, they told me no. Everything has been just so frustrating in this building. So I remember going into the school, one of my best friends had passed away and I had to pretend like nothing happened. That day I went to the restroom and I just busted out crying. And the thing is, that was not the first time. I oftentimes, between just administration to stress to being underappreciated to not feeling like I was getting paid enough, all the things would let me cry in the bathroom all the time. Then I've got to do something different.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll get started shortly, and I hope you all can see me.
I first met Dean through a challenge. I saw him presenting his own challenge and helped motivate all of us, millions of people in the room, on how to become better business owners and how to just improve our lives and give more. Dean was able to pour into me and talk about things that I could do in my business. And I wish that I had had that earlier in my journey. If I had Dean's help earlier, it would have cut off years of me trying to figure things out by myself. He's done the thing. He's been doing this for decades. And there's so many little nuances, from how to write copy to how to find the best thing in your business, that he knows off the top of his head that we have been trying to figure out for years.
Everybody, what's up? So we got Terry here. What's cool, I already gave Terry a hug and we said hi, so we figured we'd try something a little different. Yeah, a little hug. You know, I have to say, Terry just said, what can I share? And I want you to do a tactical takeaway today of something like, hey, you wish you would have known when you started. But she said, hey, I want to help these people. What can I do? I said, just be you. She was like so many of you. And I got to ask you, and I wrote my questions down on cue cards, so I hope you don't mind.
Okay,
I hope you don't mind.
At you.
But I got to ask you, I'm going to start with this. I'm going to get right into it. You were an assistant principal. I'm going to let the video speak for itself. There was days you were in the bathroom crying because you knew that wasn't for you.
Yes.
Right? How did you go from that to now teaching people how to do better in the stock market? That's what I got to hear.
I know, it's so weird, but I needed an exit strategy. Really, that was the biggest thing. As you know, I was miserable at work, overweight, just all the energy being drained out of me. So I needed, okay, how can I make some extra income so that I don't have to stay in this job?
Oh, got it. So your passion, you started
Yes.
doing stock on the side.
So stocks was the way that I figured it out. I was like, okay, well, if I could make just a little bit of money, how do I do that? And I had learned about stocks in high school. I learned in like a summer camp. We went to the Chicago Stock Exchange. So in high school, I was like, oh, I'm fascinated by this. And you know, after a while, you put your passion on the shelf and you just go and do the thing where you got to make money. And work was good. I'd put on the cape of somebody else's passion and I was a worker bee. But at the same time, I wasn't doing what I loved. And so I took that passion off the shelf and said, you know what? I really was fascinated by the stock market and I know that I can make some money doing it. So I started doing it as a hobby. So while I was an assistant principal, I started, okay, how can I like trade a little bit to make some money and how could I do this and see if I can make for me it was $300. If I could just make $300 a day, then
yeah, and we all have our starting goal
that would
and
be
we
the
should.
thing. Yes. So I just said, okay, let me keep practicing. And I practiced for about a year solid until I could say, you know what? I choose me. I'm leaving this job. I've got this side hustle that's making some money now. I'm going to actually start using the money from this side hustle to live my life. And I wanted to travel at the time, so that's what I did. I traded stocks and traveled the world.
Amazing. And then I know the evolution because I have cheat sheet here with the cards. I know you started. Your friends were asking you, how the heck are you doing this? And you started at a coffee shop.
Yes.
And I just want you to hear that. I had the blessing, Terry is at one of our events like this, I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, amazing. But Terry she didn't start with 1 million followers, probably just a handful in your family. She didn't start with all the confidence in the world. She couldn't say to somebody, hey, I was a stockbroker for 27 years. This was a side passion.
It was just fun. I just loved it.
And what I loved about your story, because I got to see so much of the footage, they got to see a couple minutes, but I got to see so much of the footage. What I loved is you just started, so many friends asked, you're like, okay, I'll meet you at the coffee shop and I'll show you what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I started traveling, so that was the big aha. I quit my job and started traveling all over the world, and I was affording it from trading stocks. But people started seeing me travel. It wasn't even the stocks that they saw. They saw me doing the things I loved, and they said, okay, well, how are you affording that? And then I would get some pings like, can we go to the coffee shop? So you said you're affording it from trading stocks. Is that true? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And they'd say, okay, well, teach me. So they'd have a coffee date, and then someone else would ask me, and this is like abroad. I'm in Thailand at the time. I'm at Vietnam. So in Thailand, I said, you know what? This is enough coffee dates, y'all. Let's just do a little class. So I said,
and one step led to another.
Intro to the stock market. Let's
go.
I
got to ask you because I know. I got the cheat sheet right in front of me here. When you went from the coffee shop, but then going on to creating a course, and then putting yourself out there and letting people know you had it, was that a little scary? Did any of those insecurities come back like, wait, you're not the stock expert. Like maybe I got lucky. Maybe I got lucky. That's how I've been able to travel for the last year. Because you're going to feel those thoughts, right?
The biggest insecurity I felt was, is this going to be too much work? Because I had just left a job because I was overwhelmed. So I started feeling like, man, am I going to feel overwhelmed again when I start doing this for myself? But it didn't turn out that way. I did things little by little. So I taught one class, and I actually felt like, oh my God, I'm really enjoying this. Like, this is in Thailand. A couple of my friends came, and I said, let me just teach you all a little bit. And unbeknownst to me, I'm loving it. And so then I said, okay, well, the next month, we were in Vietnam. They said, okay, well, teach us again. So this time I'm like, well, I want you guys to be good. Now I'm invested in them, right? Yeah. So I'm like, well, if I'm going to be your teacher, I want you to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
So then I teach a little bit more.
You know what's so funny? I want to stop you there for a second. Again, I'll look at my cards. Maybe I won't even get to them. But the part that I want all of you to feel, and this woman's beautiful smile, can't you tell when you meet her, it's a friend for life. I don't think you've ever met a stranger. I'm just saying. But when I first met her, when you talked about the impact you were making, I think it's a byproduct most people don't know yet if they're new, is like you think, hey, this could be a great way to be in a great industry, to make extra money, and I'd like it. The addicting part is when you start shifting people. When they play piano better, or they get to be better at sales, or better at fly fishing, or better at investing, or they fix their marriage, or they end a toxic relationship and they come back and say, thank you for sharing that. And you're like,
yes.
Me? Like, I did that for you?
You know the one thing that really lit me up? I had a guy who was making $10 an hour. He was a UPS driver, and he'd have to do like heavy work loading trucks. And when I taught him how to just make $10, that was an hour of work he didn't have to be on the trucks. That's when I knew, like, oh my gosh, like I'm saving you. Like I'm saving your back from the workload. I'm like saving you time. You can be with your kids now. Like that made me feel like I'm making a difference now.
Oh my God, I love it so much. Now, I have a card here that I wrote. I said you started with 2 sales, and then you grew it. Next sale, consistent sales, eventually hundreds of sales. Where are you at right now, as far as in this industry? I just saw, maybe, I don't know, a month ago, I watched you were doing a challenge.
Yes, did a challenge. We've done, Dean, it still shocks me to say these kind of numbers, but like we've done over $50 million in sales from the trade and travel course.
Oh my God! I just want to, and I want to say something. I had no idea.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that is amazing, and I wanted to say, in no way am I saying you're going to do what Terry did and you're going to make $50 million, but it's so amazing to see what's possible.
We started with one. I started just teaching. Well, there was 2 people that bought the course. I started with just 2 people, and I just wanted to teach them, and they loved it so much that now we're at
I'm gonna throw my cards.
It's
amazing.
Level, right?
I freaking love this.
Like that's the crazy part. Like it wasn't even like I was trying to make that much money. To me, $60,000 was a ton, because that's how much I was making as an assistant principal.
Wow.
If I could make that, I'm good. But this career has just revolutionized my life.
No, and I love it. And thank you for the kind words. I mean, it's our job. When people say, I shared earlier today, people say, why are you and Tony doing this? Like, Tony's the busiest human I know, and I'm right behind it, right? And at this phase of our lives, we could be slowing down and we're ramping up. It's when you see the transformation like you had, by just doing something that was your passion, and you're lit up by impacting lives, how could you not want to share it with the world? You want to shake people and go, no, you have something in here, right?
Yes. Like, the fact that I could teach someone about something I'm passionate about, I think that's where alignment happens. I had all these skill sets from being in education, from teaching, from ministry. Those were skill sets. But then I had this passion, and I feel like they met.
Put those together. Yeah, you met the assistant principal.
Yep.
Met your passion. I love, and that's what I was sharing there. Sometimes you might think, I don't know if it's a skill set, or if it's a personal experience, or it's a passion. Sometimes it's all 3. And you combine those, and it's those uniqueness. I'm teasing everybody. We have a special guest coming on day 3, who's one of my dearest friends, and he always says, not only do you have something inside of you that people need? I said this earlier, but some people can only hear it from you. And it's because of that uniqueness. You learned a little bit at school. You learned a little bit here. You probably learned from school how you didn't want to teach because it was boring and all those things, right? All right, so here's what I want to ask you. We got a few minutes left. Thank you for sharing this story. You blew me away. I knew you were doing great, but I am so happy for you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Please know I'm so proud of you, and you're such a great inspiration. But let's get something more tactical. I wrote down, what's one skill or strategy that you could share with everyone that you wished you knew sooner?
Yes. I wish that I knew that you don't have to have it all together in the very beginning. I would do a little lesson at a time, and then I'd go teach that. And then I would see how they responded to it. And then I'd go do another lesson. And I feel like some...
Oh, that's really important. Instead of saying, I created a 20-module course,
right.
It's like you created one piece and then you got feedback.
Yes.
Hear that one. That's Kaizen at its best, one little piece at a time.
I think that's important. Like, even in education, I think that's important because we think about how to write curriculum and all these things. But the biggest piece is just start with something small. Like, one thing that I'd like you to learn. See if you can put that together, teach it, see how the people respond, and then once they respond, you can go revise it. But if you feel like you got to be perfect up front, you'll never put it out. So that was really important to me. And even like right now, I'm writing a book, and that's been the same advice. Hey, as you're writing the book, instead of feeling like, okay, I got to have this whole manuscript done, teach a little bit, and then try it out, and then go teach another bit. So
I love that. It's one little piece at a time, and I love how you incorporated that. Think about teaching that little bit. And this is for a lot of the newbies and those of you that are in the space, how you want to polish the diamond. I love the fact of meeting people at a coffee shop. You bring that one piece and you teach it and then get feedback. And then be okay with their feedback. Say, I understood that, but that was over my head, right? I mean, I think about that all the time. I was sharing. We have a group here that we have people in this room that are making $1 million a month in this industry, and we have people that didn't even know this industry existed 2 weeks ago, right? So how do we find a way to make it so it's not overwhelming for some and underwhelming? It's like, just be honest, be transparent, one little piece at a time.
One nugget. When I was thinking about my students, I told you I started with just 2. I would think like, okay, in the bigger grand scheme of things, I want them to be able to make income from investing. But what's the first little piece of that? And when I had that nugget in mind, then I would invite them to my house. It wasn't even like doing that's another piece. You might think, okay, well, how do I do it? I just do a Zoom, and then I have to do all these, like, technical can also overwhelm you. I invited 2 people to my house, and we looked at in the living room. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Do y'all get it? Do y'all get it?
Do y'all get that?
Did that make sense? Okay, cool.
So good.
Now do it again. So
that is so good.
A little bit at a time.
Terry, it's so good. Thank you for flying in. Thank you for being an inspiration. I just wanted people to see what's possible. You blew me away today. I'm so glad to hear about your success. Don't quit. Keep impacting lives. Any last words before we go?
One, thank you for having me. Thank you and Tony for having me here. I'm just so grateful. So grateful. And then 2, a lot of people get nervous when you say purpose. They're like, I don't know what my purpose is. I just feel like that's a word that goes over my head. It's really just when your skill set aligns with your passion. When you get that little piece, that's where your purpose is, to me.
Oh, so good.
I think that's important.
So good. Everybody, can we give it up for Terry? Amazing. Terry, thank you. Keep up the good work. Everybody, give it up for Terry. Isn't it fun to see what's possible? I was completely blown away today by the success that she's had. I never asked the revenue. I just watched her go from, I remember when she was at one of our events sitting in an audience just like you guys, to seeing her more and hearing more and watching where she is now is so incredible. We all have something inside of us. And I think some of the big takeaways were some of the different ingredients of your life, like the triangle. Some is the passion of your life that combines with some of the things you learn through your career skill, which also incorporates the things that could be part of your personal experience. And sometimes it's that magic in the middle. Does that make sense? All right. So I don't think I have to tell you who's coming up next, or he doesn't need a great introduction. I want to play a quick little reel here in a moment. I just want to say from my heart, I've never seen a man work so hard to impact others and care. It's addicting. It drives me every single day. You know, there's that saying, be careful when you meet your heroes. And 27 years ago when I bought Tony's course and he shifted my life, he was my hero. He would have been the guy I'd want to meet. Sometimes, now that I'm doing better in life and I meet a lot of people, when you get behind the scenes, they're not who you think they are. And I want to say 12 years is my dearest friend. This man surprises me every day on his heart, his determination, his work ethic. He's way more of the man that I thought he was. And I get to partner with him and do such amazing things. I'm beyond grateful, and watching what he does for the world is priceless. Let's watch this quick video, and then we'll bring him.